Hi, friends. I'm Courtney. I'm a performer, speaker, and a writer. I'm a mama to 3 crazy boys and a super sweet dog. I decided 12 years ago that I needed to create a business that worked for me instead of me working for it. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur who may be considered a serial entrepreneur by some, but then I realized that all of my businesses focused on connection, community, and creating an incredible experience. I cannot wait to share with you how to make small but mighty changes in your life to affect your overall well-being and create a life and business you want to get up in the morning for. That's right, my friends. I am the Renaissance Mama. Hi friends, it's Courtney, the Renaissance Mama, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time from your busy day to check out the show. And if you haven't heard, the Renaissance Mama can now be found on the all-new, all-female network called Female Empowered Movement. And the easiest way to find us is you hop on your Roku or your Amazon Fire TV, you download an app called Glory Star, and you can find us in the lifestyle section. So check out what Femme has to offer. If you haven't yet, I highly suggest you do so. There are some really incredible women on there creating amazing content for women, by women. And what I love about it most is that these are real women. Like, there's no fancy studios, there's no teleprompters, there's no makeup artists. It's just women sharing beauty tips. There's some nutrition. There's even someone chatting about chakras. Like, I love what this network is all about. So I highly suggest you check it out. Okay, friends. So this episode is one that has just really been something that has been on my mind. I know I've told you all before that I sometimes am known for my thriftiness. It's definitely something I've learned since I was a kid. I was always one of those kids that, like, when I got money for my birthday or for Christmas or anything like that, I saved it in my piggy bank. I didn't even necessarily have an idea of like what I wanted to spend things on. I just knew from a young age, to me, money was something I always felt was a little scarce. And it's funny because as I get older and as I, run my business and as I take on opportunities, I've really had to change my mindset about that. I think it actually has been one of my biggest struggles to get over the fact that, like, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in your business. So I know we've all heard that phrase of like, you need to spend money to make money, but the reality is you do. So that's what we're talking about today, is like, when is the best time to invest in your business? And when is the best time to invest in yourself? What that looks like, what are the signs, and then what are some of the things that you should probably avoid when you want to do this? So I'm excited. I hope you are too. I have definitely made some investments in the past few years in my business, in myself, that I have been incredibly happy with, but I feel like I'm on the brink again, that I need to take that next step. I need to put that money out. I need to put the money where my mouth is. If I want things to change, if I want things to grow, I feel like I'm in that spot. I also have had multiple conversations in the last week, people asking me advice on this very same thing. So like I said, I think it is something that is really prevalent right now, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, so the first thing I want to kind of reach out is, when do you think it is a good time to invest in your business or yourself? If you don't have a business, think of all of these things that we're going through of like, okay, in the lens of like, how can I invest in myself? And if you do have a business, then these might be a little bit more specific. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. I hope you know that one from that musical. Yes, Sound of Music. We'll start from the beginning. So one of the best times to obviously invest in yourself or your business when you are starting a business. So depending if it is a product-based business, you're obviously going to have to put out some money and investment in the actual product itself or prototypes or research. If it is a service-based business or even a digital business, it could be much cheaper. So investing at the very beginning is obviously one of the most important times to put your money where your mouth is. I know for me, I have always been someone of like, I can do it, I can do it, I can learn it, I got it, I got it, I got it. And I think that has always been, a skill of mine, but it also has been a detriment when it came to starting businesses because I would just hop into these opportunities, hop into these businesses. I would start going and I would do all of the things without really slowing down and realizing, wait a second, there might be a better way to do this. Then I would get so wrapped up in my business and I didn't get help and I didn't pay for other people to do things that I would either get frustrated and no longer want to, work on that part of the business, or I would decide that that is where my business would stay. Multiple times I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't really want to hire someone. I don't really want to lead someone. I don't really want to take the time to build this any bigger. It's going to stay a small business, which is fine if that's what your goal is. But that wasn't where my goal was. So it never really lined up. So if you are thinking about starting a business or a side hustle or anything like that, that is a great time to invest in your business or invest in yourself. I've shared my experience with a lot of my viewers before. One of my biggest investments was right before I started this podcast. I invested in the Marie Forleo B School, and it was something that had weighed on my mind and my heart for years. I went back and forth. I was a huge fan, Marie. I was constantly knowing I wanted to take my business sense to the next level. I didn't know what that actually meant for me. And I felt like I just had so many ideas. I didn't know where to focus. So that was one of the biggest things I loved about that particular course was that it gave me the focus I needed. It gave me the clarity I needed. It gave me the action steps. The other part I love about that course is it's lifetime access. So there's many times I go back and revisit that investment and take part of it again or all of it again, or even just connect with people that are also taking it. So sometimes looking at an investment that way of like, okay, I'm putting out this large sum of money, but I can reap the rewards over and over and over again. So that's the first time you probably want to make an investment in yourself and your business is if you are at the beginning. If it's something you're just starting, if it's something that you're really interested in. And what I love nowadays is it doesn't have to be a huge investment. If you are doing a service-based or digital business, the actual amount you put out doesn't have to be huge. It can be, a little bit here and there. I would invest in a website. I would invest in time doing my research. I would invest in marketing, which we'll go into later. But that is where the most people starting a business is that's a great time to put your money where your mouth is and invest. The next time I think is a great opportunity for you to invest. And this one really hits home, whether it's for your business or for yourself, is if you feel like you are stuck. If you feel like you're doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. We've all heard that saying as well, that you can't do the same thing over and over again. And expect something different. So this happens, I find, both in, like I said, my personal life and in my business. It especially happens when I am working out. I have this habit of like doing the things that I really like to do. I get comfortable, but then I hit a plateau. And then I get frustrated because I'm no longer feeling as strong, or I'm no longer, keeping as tone, or my body starts changing for other reasons, and I get annoyed. So it's like that also in my, personal and development as well as my business. If you find you are doing the same things over and over again and not getting what you want from it, or if you find that you're just kind of stuck and not sure what the next steps are. I mentioned that B school, but that was the biggest kick in my personal butt to make some changes. I felt like I had been, playing the role of mom. Of course, I am a mom, so it wasn't playing the role, but I felt like I was so stuck in this version of mom, and I wanted all these things in my life, but I was kind of waiting for them to come to me. And I finally said, you know what? I can no longer wait. I felt that like I was stuck. I felt like nothing was happening for me, which in reality, why did I think it should, right? Like, it's just so funny. We get things in our heads and we're like, okay, I'm waiting for this time to happen. I'm waiting for this opportunity. I am waiting and waiting and waiting. And then finally I was like, no, I need to take action. So for me, it was both a personal and a business thing that I took that course, and I started getting that confidence, that clarity. I started knowing what I needed to do next. But if you find yourself in a situation personally or in your business that you just feel like you're stuck and things aren't happening the way you want them to, this is a time to make an investment. So when you are making that investment, it could be, like I said, in personal growth or in some sort of learning. Learning is obviously a huge investment for any business, for anybody personally. I would highly suggest it. I love some of my mentors. I shared an episode a few weeks ago, some of my favorites, some of the best courses I've taken that have really shaped kind of how I grow my business, how I see my business, how I even just show up each day in my life. That's how, instrumental these mentors have been for me. Another way when you feel really stuck in your business, and I will admit right now, I'm kind of feeling it, is this might be a time to invest in your marketing. I know, I said it before, we would look a little bit at marketing itself and how that really can shape a business. So whether your business is brand new, whether it's something you've been doing for a while, marketing is what's going to move the needle. You need more eyes on what you're doing. You need more people learning about you, sharing about you, talking about you. So marketing is really the root of so many things. But I find marketing is also one of those things that we have so many mixed messages about, constantly. Oh, you should be on social media. Oh, you shouldn't be on social media. Oh, you should be paying for ads. Oh, you shouldn't be paying for ads. Oh, you should be doing this or that or whatever. It just gets so overwhelming, and you can spend hours doing what you think you should be doing, but not getting the results. So when you're thinking about marketing and you feel like you are stuck, this might be the opportunity for you to invest. And I've talked to multiple people, and there's kind of two school of thoughts on marketing itself. So there's a school of thought of all right, I am going to invest in either a marketing firm or somebody to make a marketing plan for me, somebody to really help me with the numbers if that's not something you are interested in, or maybe you're chatting with somebody to help you build your brand, and that's the venue you're going to go. Is you're really going to look at who am I, what do I represent, who am I here for, what are their pain points and their frustration and their desires, or instead of paying someone to help you kind of do it, you might take the other route and you're going to pay someone to teach you to do it. That's one of the things I've heard from so many business owners that they're like, why am I going to pay someone else to do it if it's something that's going to be so close to my business personally that I want to be involved? I don't think there is a better option for either. I think it really just depends on what you want to do with the time in your business. If marketing is something you want to learn and you want to get confident in and, really just be amazing, congrats. Go ahead. I think you can do it. If marketing is one of those things that you're like, okay, I have to do this in my business. I need to get the eyes, I need to get the buzz going, then maybe you are paying for somebody or a service or a business to look after your marketing for you. There's also options in between. There's some businesses that teach you a little bit, kind of guide you through it, but don't necessarily, leave you completely alone. So do your research, but definitely if you are feeling stuck in your business, making an investment, that is usually the best time to do it, and marketing is a great place to start. If you are feeling stuck, personally, once again, I would start doing the research of what really lights you up. Where are the moments in your day that you're like, yes, I feel my best. I feel like this is who I am. This is where I want to be. I had a great episode a few weeks ago with Tessa Campen, and she talked about harnessing our strengths. And I walked away from that episode thinking, yes, there were so many things in the day that I do that I'm like good at, or people have told me I'm good at, but is that really my strength? So really finding those things that are making you happy, making you feel strong, making you feel like you, that's maybe where you want to spend some investment in, some either time investment, some money investment, but finding those things that light you up. Also, like I mentioned before, if you are feeling stuck, that might be the time to invest in learning a new skill, learning about something that's really going to get you going again, because there's nothing like having that light bulb in your head or that energy go through you again that you're like, oh yes, this feeling, right? So that is a great opportunity to invest in yourself, invest in your learning, invest in your next steps or your next goal. Another time that I think it is a great sign to invest in your business or yourself is if you're feeling overwhelmed. I have been the person who, I told you, starts these businesses, put on all the hats, do all the things, and then I would stop because it was too much. It was overwhelming. Things weren't growing the way I wanted them to. So instead of finding help or finding someone that was their strength and that was their expertise, I would keep playing small. So I don't want that to happen for you guys. If you hit a moment in your business, you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm doing too many things. I'm so overwhelmed. I want to grow, but I can't because I'm one person. I would suggest looking into investing in your business. That's a great opportunity to invest in some help. So go back to that drawing board. Are there things that you can't stand doing in your business? I mentioned marketing in the last little bit. Maybe marketing is one of those things. Maybe making social content drives you wild. Maybe doing the numbers or, balancing the books. This might be an opportunity for you to hire somebody. Invest in your business by hiring somebody amazing that is their strength. That's what they're good at. That's what they do, that's what they love to do. Why not? I know there was a few years ago, I had my business where I was running, that I was working with moms and baby groups, and I loved the programming. I loved chatting. I loved being the face. I loved, actually getting into everything. I loved the social content. I loved all that, but I couldn't stand trying to sell to sponsors. It wasn't what I loved to do because it just didn't align with the vision of what I was doing. I think at the time, I just felt like it was hard for me to prove to them what their return on investment would be. But I ended up hiring someone to be selling sponsorship. So not only were they able to network and connect with people and really show who we were and what the business was all about, I took that job off my plate that I didn't love. So investing in yourself or your business when things are overwhelming or it's just too much is a great place to start. If you are thinking about yourself personally, like once again, if you are so overwhelmed and the to-do list is crazy, maybe it's time to invest in some help. Invest in a cleaner once a week, twice a month, once a month, whatever it may be. And what I love about investing in your business or yourself is you decide what that investment could be. If you want to start small and hire a VA for, 5 hours every 2 weeks, there will be somebody who can do it. If you want to start small, like I said, within your house and want to get a little bit of extra help, maybe mowing the lawn, maybe closing the pool, maybe doing the things that you could do, but you are so overwhelmed and you're so maxed out, it's time to invest and find that help. Get that time back. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling stressed, that is a great opportunity to take a step back and think, okay, is this a good time to invest in my health, my business, whatever it may be? I think it is. Another great time when to invest in your business is when things are going good. There's so many times where we are, things are going good in the business, and then we want to add more and we want to do something else and we want to, change what we're doing. That is not the time. When things are working and things are happening, that is a great opportunity to double down on what's working. So if you have a product that everyone loves, why not share about it even more? Why don't put a little bit more in ad spend to see what else could happen? If you have a service that you love to share, love to offer, and everybody is loving it, are there opportunities you could offer more? I had been running my musical theater company for years, and I always wanted to do one show because it's very time consuming. I love it. It's my favorite project. Well, last year I offered a second show. Why? Because the demand was there. There were wait lists. People was always asking me about it. I knew it was something I wanted to do. I just couldn't figure out the timing. And finally, I just had to jump ahead and do it. So when things are going good, that is also a great time to invest in your business. I would also say when things are going good personally, why not invest in yourself? Invest in taking the time to really give yourself what you need. I feel like I have my best ideas, my best moments when I am spending the time investing in myself. I was on my run the other day and I bumped into a friend, and she is off right now on a year of taking off from her work, her 9-to-5 job. She wanted to focus on being a mom and a parent and do all these things. And she bumped into me and she said, "Oh, I have so much to do today." And I said, "I do too." She's like, "But you're still up for your run." And I was like, "Yeah, because this is when I kind of plan my day, but it's also when I invest in myself and I give myself that time to feel recharged, feel strong, smell the fresh air, enjoy my time, enjoy my freedom, enjoy why I wanted to be an entrepreneur in the first place, was to take hold of my time." And she says, "Wow, I thought the same thing too. But then I thought, am I okay to do that?" And I said, yes, you are. Always okay to invest in yourself. So if you are feeling like things are going good, it could be a great time to invest in your business or yourself. Another great time on that same line is if things are going good and you want to start scaling it. So you think your business has grown to where you want it to be, but it could be more. There are more opportunities out there. There's more ways you could grow. That is a great time to invest into your business. I've told you before with my musical theater, I do the one show a year. I love it. It's so much fun. But I've always thought, how else could I grow it? How else could I scale it? Because there's only one me. And yes, I have people working for me, but it's not quite the same. So how else could I, get to more people, more kids, teach more theater, musical theater, get them the love of musical theater? And that's when I created my digital course. My digital course is for kids to learn at home musical theater at their own pace, at their own level. I've ideally created it for families not only who may not be able to get to rehearsals or commit to rehearsals, but families who might not can't afford it. So I really just wanted to bring this concept that I've seen work over the years, bring it to more people and make it accessible for more people. I would love for kiddos who, might be a little bit too shy to get in front of a huge crowd, but to learn this skill from home. Skills that I know will build their confidence, will make them have fun, will get that creativity going. That it's always a great time in your business to think, okay, things are going good, but I wanted to grow. Now it's time to put my money where my mouth is. That's a great time to invest when you want to scale it. The other thing I want you to think about if you are thinking of investing in your business because you want to scale it is you might want to start investing in either systems or strategies that's going to help you after you scale it, right? You don't want to, spend all this investment on marketing and then not be able to handle the demand. You don't want to spend all this time, hiring people if you don't have the marketing and the customers coming in. So really make sure when you are ready to make that investment that you are looking at all your different options and really understand what your end goal is. And that might not necessarily mean like end goal for money or, sales or anything like that. But I always think back to like end goal of how you want to show up in your life, how you want to show up in your business, how your perfect day would look, right? There's no point in building these businesses or spending all this time and money and investment if your end goal doesn't align with what you actually want to do and how you want to feel and how you want to show up. Another great way where you can spend some investment is maybe there is a new product or new service you could offer that and you can scale it that way. I mentioned you with my brand new course. That was how I wanted to scale what I was already doing. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's a little unique. Yes, it's getting hard to sell because people don't quite understand what it is. But I know what it is and I know the value it brings. So I just need to get clear on my messaging and get it to the right people. Another way you can invest in scaling your business is technology. Maybe there is something out there that it's going to make your business run smoother. And once again, you don't want to get this huge, demand and then not be able to do it. So technology is your friend. Trust me, there's ways to make your business run smoother. I also believe that in your personal life too. When it comes to it, there are times where making the investment in, I did an episode a few weeks ago of lessons I've learned. And one of that was this, is taking the time to, set things up for myself, for my business, for my life, that makes it easier. So sometimes I may have to pay for something because it's going to make life easier, right? I've been paying for my HelloFresh because I love that I don't have to think about what's for dinner. I love that it comes with instructions. I love that it's making my life easier. I don't have to shop for the food, all these things, right? So there are times where it is great to make that investment to save yourself the time. So those are the top times I think it's great to invest. Just a reminder, it's when you are starting out. It's when you feel kind of stuck or complacent. It is when you feel so overwhelmed that you can't handle it. Or it's when you feel like things are going good. I want to either double down or I want to scale this and make it even better. So instead of going into all the details of like do your research, all that stuff. This is how you want to make your investments. I decided I would share some of the things to just be aware of or possibly avoid. So the first one is, and I have been affected by this recently, was do not fall into the trap of, investing your money because of the person. And I shared with you, I did this episode about my mentors who I do really love. I love their courses. I love what they're all about. But I was in a position a few weeks ago where I was going to buy a course from one of my biggest mentors who I just love. And it was all about building my digital course. And I had my credit card in hand, ready to pay. It was a huge investment. You know me, I was very nervous about it. And then I stopped because I felt like I was buying it for the wrong reasons. I was buying it for the person she was. I was buying it for my mentor who I wanted to support, who I love, who, like I said, all those things. But it wasn't actually the investment I needed to make right now. And I actually had to talk to somebody else who knew nothing about my business, who was just a friend who is rational and easy to talk to. And she said, okay, well, the course you're gonna buy, what portion of it is what you actually want? And it really was only like one module out of the 10. So she said, is it worth the investment? If the investment is this many dollars and you're spending it and you only want one piece of this course, is it worth the investment? And trust me, it was a hard decision. I went back and forth, and finally I thought, you know what? This is not where I need to spend my money right now. Yes, I'm ready to grow. Yes, I'm ready to scale. Yes, I'm ready to do these things, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I was getting very distracted with the person who was selling it because I love them. I was getting very distracted with all of the excitement about the course. I had done the boot camp, so I was like, oh my God, I'm in. But when I really looked at it, like I have already created my own course. So I don't really need a course to teach me to create the course. What I wanted next was to get those next steps to really scale it and grow it. So that's number one. Be wary of being distracted by the person selling the investment rather than what you actually want to buy and what you want to do with it next. The second thing, just to be a little wary of, and this come from a great friend of mine, called me up the other day. She told me all about this investment she wanted to make to bring on a third-party company that was going to help her with strategies and contents and funnels and all the things she doesn't like doing. But this company was promising like everything. It sounded way too good to be true. So I guess I was her rational friend that time. She told me all what the opportunity was, what the large investment was going to be. And she explained it all to me. And I kept saying, this sounds too good to be true. There's no way this business can promise you these results when you don't own the product. She was part of a network marketing company, which I love. I love network marketing companies. I feel like they give people opportunities to start a business with the foundation and the support that when you start a business by yourself, you do not necessarily have. But the reality is you are selling something that many other people are selling. So she was just going to put all this money into this business that was promising her leads and people to sell for her and all these things, but they didn't know her business. They didn't know her product, and she doesn't own the product. So there was just so many red flags, but she was so kind of taken over by the vision of like, they would take away the hard stuff for her, right? Like, so second one, like I said, is if something sounds too good to be true, I would definitely do my research and maybe phone in a friend who will walk you through it and that rational side. And the third thing I want you to think about when you're ready to invest in your business, and it goes back to that same friend too, is what is your end goal? Right? Like, what is the vision? If you are investing this money, if you're investing this time, if you're putting, faith in yourself and your business, what is the end goal? Like, do you want to grow it so you are leading 10 people? Do you want to grow it that you're leading 100 people? If that's not your goal, and that's amazing. Like, I think when you are clear with what your goal is of your business, then you can get clear on what that goal is for your life. Remember I said, go back to that perfect day, that perfect feeling. How do you want to feel when you get up in the morning to do the things you want to do? You want to feel inspired. You want to feel strong. You want to feel like you're using your strengths. You want things to feel like, yes, I'm in alignment. This is what I should be doing. So when she wanted to spend this money and get all these people selling for her, I said, is that what you really want? Like, do you have the time and the capacity to lead? Like, let's see if they got you 50 people. Do you have that time? And she said, no. She said, that's not even sure what I want to do. So I said, whoa. Before you make an investment, you need to make sure you know what you want that next goal to be. And I said the word end goal, and I scratched that because if you're like me, your goals are constantly changing and developing. And depending on what season of life you may be in, your goals might change. So I don't want it to be an end goal. It's going to be a goal for now because it can change. It should change, right? There should be no person who's like, oh, at 10 years old, this is my goal. And now here I am rocking my goal, right? Like, I feel like our world has changed so much that of course goals are going to change. Things are going to change. So make sure before you make any investment, you know what that next goal is. You're clear on how you want it to be, how you want to make you feel, and how you want to show up. Okay, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have learned a little bit and thought about, is it a right time to invest in your business? And like I said, I feel like there's any time that it should be to invest in yourself. The only time, and I'll give you one because most of the other ones were all about business. The only time I would say maybe it's not time to invest yourself, like if you are one of those people who buys tons of courses or self-development and you don't have the time to take it, then maybe it's not time to invest in something like that, right? You don't want to make yourself feel bad because you spent X amount of dollars on something, but don't have the capacity to do it. And so what I do during those times is I do that time audit. I take a look at my calendar. I take a look at the season of life I'm in right now and say, okay, is this something I can do right now that I'm going to be able to take full advantage of it? We've all been there when we buy something and we have great intentions and then you don't have time to do it, or you don't have time to do it well, or you don't learn the way, or you don't finish the course, or you don't do the thing. So I always say, take that moment of like, let's look at the big picture and make sure it's time for you to do it now, because it may not be. So whether you're investing in your business or yourself, that is something to think of as well. All right, friends. So as always, I want to hear from you. What is something that you really want to invest in? Is it your business? Is it yourself? Share with me. Visit me on therenaissancemama.com. Hop on Instagram at Courtney Renaissance Mama. I want to hear from you. What is the next big investment? And if you are like me and terrified of putting your money where your mouth is, just know you got people behind you, and what's for you will be successful. If you know what that next goal is and you want to invest in yourself, it is time, my friend. Okay, friends, thanks so much. Bye for now. We'll see you later.